With that, I thank my colleagues for their attention, and I turn to my colleague, Ranking Member Reed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Good morning to our witnesses, and congratulations on your nominations. I'd also like to extend my best wishes to your family members and friends who are with you here today. Mr. Payne, you are nominated to be the Director of Course Assessment and Program Evaluation, CAPE. If confirmed, you will be responsible for providing independent analysis on all aspects of defense programs, including weapon systems and force structures, evaluation of program performance, and the cost effectiveness of defense systems. Your long career with CAPE and the Air Force should serve you well in this role. There are a number of challenges to address. In the near term, you must work with Congress to improve the quality and timeliness of acquisition data by establishing streamlined methods to reduce bureaucratic burdens while enabling congressional oversight. Longer term, CAPE must improve estimates for operation and sustainment costs and develop accurate methods for reporting the growing portion of the Pentagon's budget spent on contracted services. You will also need to balance rigorous cost estimates with the need for speed and tailored acquisition approaches. Mr. Payne, I would like to know how you plan to improve CAPE's transparency with Congress, and what are your views on CAPE's role in the new requirements and resourcing alignment board. Mr. Velez-Green, you are nominated to be Deputy Undersecretary of Defense for Policy, a critical position responsible for advising the Undersecretary and shaping defense policy and strategy at a consequential moment. The policies we set today will shape America's security for decades. China and Russia have made no secret of their aggressive ambitions, and we must focus our time, resources, and attention on competing effectively with them. You have argued that the United States must avoid distractions from wars of choice in low-priority theaters, and I agree. However, with that in mind, I would like to know how you and Undersecretary Colby reconcile this theory with the Department's ongoing military campaign and buildup in South and Central America. Is this not precisely the kind of strategic distraction you have both warned against? You have also written extensively in favor of steep reductions to America's role in Europe, the Middle East, and elsewhere. I would like to know why you support that approach, and if confirmed, how would you work to repair our standing with allies and restore our competitive position, particularly as we seek credibility in the Indo-Pacific? I'm concerned by reports that the forthcoming National Defense Strategy will make an alarming turn to heavily refocus the Department of Defense inward on American soil and homeland security. Mr. Velez-Green, you have served in OSDP since day one, including 4 months as acting Undersecretary. The committee expects clear answers on whether you believe the department's focus should be on homeland security missions or on long-term competition with China and Russia. Mr. Dill, you are nominated to be Assistant Secretary of Defense for Manpower and Reserve Affairs. This role is responsible for overseeing policies for military and civilian personnel, reserve component integration, and total force readiness, serving as a principal advisor to the Secretary of Defense on manpower and military community policy. Mr. Dill, I'm troubled by this administration's treatment of our military. President Trump and Secretary Hegseth have held campaign rallies on military bases, fired senior officers without cause, and threatened to deploy troops against domestic political opponents, among other divisive orders. These actions threaten the 250-year tradition of an apolitical military, a tradition that has made our armed forces the most trusted institution in America. If confirmed, you would be responsible for protecting and advocating for every single military service member and defense civilian, regardless of their personal political preferences or demographics. I would ask you to commit to this committee today that you understand the critical importance of maintaining an apolitical military, and that you will defend this principle even if it's unwelcome by other leaders in the administration. Finally, Dr. Tart, you are nominated to be Assistant Secretary of Defense for Readiness. In this role, you would advise the Secretary on readiness and training, oversee policies ensuring the joint force is prepared for assigned missions, and maintain responsibility for the safety of more than 2.7 million uniformed and civilian personnel. There has been a troubling pattern of mishaps across the department this year. Just last week, 2 aircraft from the USS Nimitz crashed in the South China Sea within 1 hour of each other. The USS Truman has suffered repeated incidents at sea. Last month, an artillery exercise in California dropped shrapnel onto Highway 5, and several patrol vehicles were hit. And there have been multiple fatal helicopter crashes this year. While our service members perform dangerous work, peacetime accidents must be minimized. And I think you understand it very clearly. And I'd like to know what your plan is to restore a culture of safety across the force. Additionally, I'm concerned about readiness impacts from President Trump's domestic and border deployments. I'd ask for your plan to address lost training and readiness for missions unrelated to the goal of lethality of the military. Thank you again to our nominees. I look forward to your testimonies. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank